What if I told you that the single biggest thing driving your career success isn't your boss, or your company, or even how talented you are? What if it's something you actually have complete control over? Well, today, we're diving deep into the game-changing idea of self-leadership.
So let's just get right to it with a big question. Is your boss responsible for your success? I mean, it's tempting to say yes, right? To kind of offload some of that pressure. But in today's world, that's not just the wrong answer, it's a dangerous one.
The reality is that unspoken agreement from the 20th century workplace, it's officially over. The whole idea of a predictable career ladder where a manager kindly guides you up each rung, well, that's been replaced by something way more dynamic and, let's be honest, a lot more demanding.
Just look at this contrast here. The old deal was super simple. You give your loyalty, you get job security. Your career was this path pretty much laid out for you. The new deal is a totally different ballgame. Now, you trade your initiative not for some guarantee, but for the chance to build valuable skills. You're not a passenger anymore. You're the pilot of your own career.
And look, this isn't just some shift in business philosophy. It's a reaction to a brand new reality. Companies are flatter, and the days of a manager looking after just a handful of people are long gone. Today, that same manager might have a team of 50 people. They literally don't have time to be your cruise director. They need self-starters, problem solvers, people who act like they own a piece of the business.
And this quote just nails the whole idea. See, your company can give you tools and authority. That's called empowerment. But it's totally useless unless you have the self-leadership to actually pick up those tools and build something amazing. So how do you do that? Well, it all boils down to 3 really powerful keys.
All right, key number 1. This is all about shattering those invisible walls we build around ourselves. It's about finding and breaking the mental chains, often created in our past, that are silently holding us back from what we're really capable of.
This all starts with understanding a powerful idea called elephant thinking. Imagine a baby circus elephant. It's tied to a stake it can't move. It tries and fails, and eventually it just gives up. Now, that elephant grows into this huge, powerful animal that could easily snap that chain, but it never even tries. The memory of the past has become its prison.
And that right there is what we call an assumed constraint. It's a belief born from some past experience that we start treating like a hard fact. It's that little voice in your head that whispers, hey, don't even bother pitching that idea, they'll never go for it. Or, you're just not a numbers person. All without ever stopping to ask, wait a minute, is that still true today?
Okay, now for some fun. Let's see how we can break one of these constraints in real time. Do you think you could cut a hole in a standard business card big enough for your head to fit through? Sounds impossible, right? That's an assumed constraint. But watch. By changing how you look at it, folding it, making a series of clever cuts, suddenly the impossible becomes possible. You've just shattered a limiting belief.
So this brings us to a really crucial question for you to think about. What elephant chain from a past project, a past boss, or maybe even a past failure is still holding you back in your current job?
So once you start challenging those limiting beliefs, the second key is all about recognizing the power you already have, even if you don't realize it. And spoiler alert, it has almost nothing to do with your job title.
One of the biggest assumed constraints out there is this idea that real power only flows from the top down, that the only people who can really make things happen are the ones with the big corner office. That, my friends, is a myth.
The truth is, power comes in a bunch of different forms. Yeah, of course, there's position power, the authority that comes with your role. But think about these other ones. Knowledge power. You're the person who knows how stuff really works. Personal power. People just like you and trust you. Relationship power. Your network of allies. And task power. Your control over a critical piece of the whole process. Everybody has their own unique mix.
So take a second and think about your own power profile. Go beyond your job description. Which one of these is your real superpower? Are you the connector, the expert, the person everyone turns to when things go sideways? Knowing this is the first step to using it. And that leads us perfectly into our third and final key, which might just be the most practical one of all. It's a system for taking charge of your own development by learning how to get exactly the right kind of help at exactly the right time. Because here's a secret that separates the good from the truly great. Self-leadership is not about being a lone wolf. It's about being strategic. It's about having the self-awareness to know what you don't know and the confidence to actually ask for help. That's not a weakness. That is a total power move.
This chart right here is basically a roadmap for your growth. Think about any new skill you've ever learned. You start out as a D1, an enthusiastic beginner. You're all excited, but you have no clue what you're doing. Then reality hits, and you become a D2, a disillusioned learner. This is way harder than I thought. But if you stick with it, you become a D3, capable but cautious. And finally, you get to D4, a high achiever. The trick is knowing where you are on this journey for any specific task.
And here is the simple, beautiful insight that unlocks this whole thing. When your competence is low, what do you need? You need direction, a clear how-to. When your commitment is low, what do you need? You need support, encouragement, a reminder of the why. It's really that simple.
So think about a specific project on your plate right now. Where are you on that D1 or D4 scale? Are you maybe a D2, feeling stuck, but you're asking for more freedom when what you really need is a clear set of instructions? Or are you a D3, totally capable but a little hesitant, needing a vote of confidence more than another checklist? Matching your ask with your actual need is how you take control of your own growth.
So let's bring it all home. Challenging your limiting beliefs, understanding where your real power comes from, and learning how to ask for what you truly need. This isn't just a collection of tips, it's a completely new operating system for your career.
The bottom line is this: waiting around for someone else to build your career is like waiting for someone else to live your life for you. It's a strategy from a world that just doesn't exist anymore. The responsibility is all yours, but you know what? So is the incredible opportunity. Which brings us to one final, really important question. Look, this isn't about becoming a self-leadership expert overnight. It's about taking one small step. So what is the one assumed constraint you're going to test? The one point of power you'll consciously use, or the one specific request for direction or support you will make this week? Don't just think about it. Decide, because the power truly is yours.